this road seems to be getting quieter and quieter. Maybe avoiding highways is what I'd set somewhere. Morning folks, it's Nick here. It's about 7:30 and I'm staying in Dolgum campsite near Betws-y-Coed in a little coop. Need to do a bit of housekeeping before I show you the cabin. It's fine. It has rained just about all night and blowing a real hoolie. It's not very pleasant out there now. I've got a coffee and I'm just slowly packing up, but I'm not in a rush to get going. As I say, it's just raining and horrible. Today's plan though is we're heading off to Newby Bridge, maybe up to Windemere itself. Newby Bridge is just at the southern tip of Lake Windemere, and that's, according to my Garmin, about 155 miles. A lot of those B roads, and Garmin assumes that I can do 60 miles an hour on all those little B roads, and you can't. So it thinks it's about 5 hours. I reckon it would be more a 6 or 6.5, 7. I'm going to stop on route anyway, and then plan is tomorrow to do the various passes, including Hard Knot, Rhinos and Hornister. We shall see how that goes. I'm hoping for the weather to improve a little bit, but apart from that, I'm going to pack up here, read for a while and let the weather settle, and then head off. I'll see you on the road. So this is the little coop. It's about 9:30, day 2, and it's stopped raining. It's just drizzling. I'm going to go and get some breakfast somewhere. I'll probably pop into Betws-y-Coed for that. But hopefully the day will brighten up. It's looking quite bright over there. We'll soon see though, I suppose. So that was Dolgum campsite. Bit basic. The showers are hot, which is good. The little coop I stayed at was fine, and I didn't have to pack up or put a tent up, or put a tent up in the wet. Okay, so lock the gate. I'm going to go and grab some breakfast, and hopefully I'll see you there. I'm going for a healthy breakfast today, should we say. Sausage, egg and bacon back, and a latte. That was a nice breakfast. Betws-y-Coed. Not showing in its best light because the sun's not shining. But what I'm hoping with this trip is that it's a bit shorter than my previous one, so being able to take 6 weeks off is going to be tricky for an awful lot of people. But this trip is more like 10 to 14 days. Not quite sure yet. But the idea of it, at least, is just to show what's available in the UK, if that's where you live. I've mentioned previously that I'm using the avoid highways mode, and hence we've got this sort of road, which is lovely, but it doesn't make for the fastest progress. But then I'm not after the fastest progress. I'm heading to Newby Bridge in the Lake District. 155 miles, allegedly. And if it does take too long, then I'll just reroute at various points. But at the moment, I have no intention of rerouting. Well, this road seems to be getting quieter and quieter. Maybe avoiding highways is what I'd set somewhere. A couple of miles so far on this. It might just be the via point that I've put in there at random that's causing this to go this way. But we'll see. Very picturesque. So the roads just seem to be getting smaller and smaller. I was recording with the video with the camera down, of course. Doesn't help. These are some interesting little roads. I ended up in a farm. Just hoping that this is indeed the road and not just to another farm. About a mile of this. It's quite nice, quite pleasant. At 12 miles an hour, it's going to take a long time to do 155 miles. Still going. I'm guessing this road must be popular with motorcyclists. It's got an average speed check, so the speed limit along it is national speed, which is 60, but it looks a very nice road to whiz along, shall we say, but with a 60 mile an hour average. Some cameras just back there, not sure where the next set are. This is the A543, or average speed cameras. I don't know if it's the beginning or end or what's something in the middle. And it's a bit like a racetrack. Apart from the fact it's got lots of hills. It's a lovely road. No potholes so far. Does look like we're heading into rain though. Hey ho. This is the town of Denbigh. Up on the hill there is a castle. I think we'll take a slight detour and go and have a look at the castle. I am hoping with this trip to be able to show that you don't have to go thousands of miles to enjoy riding a motorcycle in the UK. Sorry for those who aren't in the UK, but if you come over, there's plenty to see. And if you don't have 6 weeks, which I had the luxury of having, and don't want to travel across 21 countries, then coming to the places like Wales is a great option. Let's just pull up here somewhere. Denbigh Castle and town walls. Not much left of it, but I think we can get the gist. a dominating position over the town on the top of the hill. Super. It's closed, of course. But lovely. I think I'm under the Mersey Tunnel now. It's about 1:15. I haven't stopped for lunch yet. I'm going to stop fairly soon. Well, as soon as I find somewhere really. It's just been raining just about the whole time. Just stopped for lunch approaching Preston. It's 2:30. Still quite a way to go to the end of the day. It's been raining dreadfully for most of the way, but it's stopped now. I've stopped. So anyway, give my stuff a chance to dry out a little bit. I'm going to eat my lunch and I'll speak to you later. It's a very modern looking pump, isn't it? Because I'd have forgotten to reset the trips, etc., and take mileage, I don't really know what the mileage per gallon is for this one. 13.24 litres. I stopped too long for that lunch. It was really pleasant just sitting there, just catching up on a few emails and things. I had a steak and kidney pie, mashed potato, mushy peas, and some sprinkling of green things on the top, and a latte, and that came to £17.95. It's nice though, and it means that I don't really have to have a large meal this evening. Still 57 miles to our destination, but I've now sorted out where I'm staying. I've got a campsite booked, which apparently is £18 for the night, including electrical hookup. Very close to Newby Bridge, which is where I was aiming for. Interestingly, the campsites nearer Windemere itself, town, were from £32. It's quite expensive to camp for the night, but anyway, that's where I'm going now. But I'm going to take a blend of small roads and hopping on some motorway, because I'm just not really making much progress with all those little roads. And the weather is, well, it's stopped raining at the moment. It was raining as I came out after lunch, and it's stopped again for the moment. Still raining. I spoke too soon. No sooner had I turned the camera off than it started raining again. There's a rainbow over there somewhere. Not sure whether you can see it. It's straight ahead now. Well, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Nearly there, about 3.5 miles to go now. Did quite a bit on the motorway. And the bike performed fine. Very blustery. A number of rainbows on the way, all sorts of stuff like that. Just got to remember what campsite it is that I've booked myself into. This is the Lake District then, the Lakes Peninsula. Very rural here. But very hilly. Well, they did say it was a little remote. I think they're right. Well, I'm glad we're going the same direction as this chap. I wouldn't want to meet him coming the other way. Should be here anytime soon. depending on how accurate the postcode was, of course. I think I must have missed it. Oh well, I'll stop in a moment and turn, head back. Moss Hoe Farm campsite, that's where we're going. Well, it's a working farm, that's for sure. Right, doesn't it? Yurts. So there's two on the right, which have got power. And that's where we're going. Oh, it looks nice. So this is the end of day 2. You'll have to excuse the lighting. I have no idea how to set it up. Could try moving stuff around a bit, I suppose. Oh, what's that? That's even worse. Anyway, let's see how this works out. And excuse all the noises in the background. There's, I think it must be a deer or a buck or something barking off in the depth. Been going all evening. And there's a screech owl somewhere. There's another owl. And the sheep, up until a few minutes ago, were also bleating. But anyway, today we did about 160 miles, around the 250 kilometre mark, which isn't a lot of miles, but some of the roads, and I don't know whether it came out because I noticed that the camera had gone a lesson learned that I'm not listening to, that check the camera. But anyway, it was a nice day. It rained just about all day until very near the end, when a rainbow came out, which was very nice. And when I got to the campsite, there was enough sun to see it set. It was super. So it was, dry. In a campsite, it's got power. It's got Wi-Fi if you go very close to the farmhouse. Very weak Wi-Fi. Shower block looks fine. I'll find out a bit later how good that is. I had a big lunch, light supper, and also managed to stop and see a castle today. I want to do a bit more of that, but every time I saw a sign for a castle, it was just chucking it down. So tomorrow the plan is to do some of the passes in the Lake District, and I'll tell you about that in the morning anyway. But I'm spending 2 nights at this campsite to give me a chance to actually enjoy the day without having to spend time packing up and then setting up again in the evening. But that's it for the day. I don't think there's anything else really. Hope the lighting isn't too horrendous. Maybe I can do it in post-edit, although I've got no idea how to do that. Anyway, all that remains for me to do now is to say bye for now.